tell me about your first love, the one you thought was forever?
I thought that all-consuming love, the type of love where you have nothing else, was what everybody should strive for. I thought love meant obsession. That's the only time I've ever punched a man. Fuck you! And I wish I did it harder.
Can I come in?
Yes, please come in.
Banks, can you tell me about your first love, the one you thought was forever, the one that taught you what love is not? Tell the story as if you were warning young girls of the evil in the world. Imagine they are sitting in front of us right now and you want to protect them. Have a sip of your wine and start from the beginning. Who was he? Describe the moment you first felt consumed by him. What made you feel special?
I remember I saw this kind of tall, scruffy-looking guy with a skateboard, and my heart dropped. I thought that all-consuming love, the type of love where you have nothing else, was what everybody should strive for. I had never been in love before, and the second I saw him, I knew that there was a story. I ended up going to a party, and he was there, and we talked, and he talked, and I listened, and I found him just to be so different. I think there was something about him that I felt was unattainable, and therefore I wanted him to love me. I was a freshman in college, and he really defined my entire experience of that entire year, I would say. We fell in love, and it became all-consuming, life revolving around type of love. I drifted apart from pretty much all of my friends, as did he, and I became connected to him. And if he wasn't there, I didn't feel it was worth being there. I remember the way he made me feel. I remember him skateboarding to me in between every class. I remember him smoking weed 100 times a day. I remember him trying to teach me things about the world. I remember I was really naive. I had never been in love before. I was a virgin. I had always been confused why, when I was younger, when I was in high school, everyone was so shocked that I was a virgin, because not a lot of people were. And I didn't understand why it was so hard to be a virgin, because I had never felt true lust before. Every time I had been alone with a man, I had just felt nervous. And I never felt the lust that made me want anything else other than some kisses, and that's really it. But with this person, with my first real relationship, for the first time, I felt that lust and I felt that desire. And then I understood why people were so confused, because once you feel that, it's hard not to follow that emotion. So I ended up sleeping with the love of my life, I thought, my first real boyfriend. Everything I learned about love came from that relationship. So I thought it was supposed to be you're everything. I thought you were supposed to exist within somebody else's world and vice versa. Yeah, there was something dark about him and something that I never really understood. He would tell me stories of his past. He told me that he lost his virginity to a prostitute that his dad paid for when he was 12 or 13, which always scared me a little bit. There was just a lot of heaviness inside him, and I wanted to take it away. He ended up becoming my safe place, even though that safe place sometimes would say certain things that now I look back on and I find them so twisted and dark that if somebody said that to a friend or if somebody said that to me ever, I would have alarm bells go off all over my body. Once we were driving and he said if I cheated on him, he would fuck my mom and film it and send it to me in the mail in a video. It almost feels like that didn't happen because it's so disgusting to say to somebody. He wanted to be an actor. Sometimes when we fought, I thought he was doing a monologue. It felt like he was using it as rehearsal or something. Like, he would say things that felt so over dramatic or cinematic, but not in a beautiful way. More in a way like I was watching from an outside perspective, thinking he thought he was giving a good performance. That always made me cringe. I was staying in LA for the summer, and we had been together a year at that point, by far my longest relationship. And I remember I had saved up my money for so long to afford a ticket to go visit him. And he started having, I remember, some crazy, like, jealous outbursts when he was gone initially, accusing me of sleeping with my best friend at the time and writing unhinged messages. And again, at that age and at that time, I felt, oh, he's so passionate about me. He is so worried about me. So I just reassured him and let it continue. And then finally the day came where I was finally gonna get to go visit him. And I went, and I just felt so uncomfortable the entire time. There was something so dark about the way the energy of that house made me feel, the way his dad made me feel. Once we were at dinner, and I remember his dad was telling a story. He said he had met the most beautiful woman in the world, and his mother was his wife, and my partner's mother at the time was at the table, and I knew he wasn't talking about her. And I just saw her heart drop. And I felt so sick and sad for her, because every woman wants to feel like the most beautiful woman in the world to their partners, in their partner's eyes. And I didn't know how that was so normal to just speak like that in front of your wife. There was just a discomfort that I felt that whole trip. I had always grown up with this idea that natural beauty, natural femininity, the divine of feminine, that was what was beautiful, raw, real women. And there was something about the energy in this family that didn't believe that. There was something about this family that viewed women differently. The things that felt really beautiful to them were money and fame and beauty in the most boring way, beauty in the most obvious way, beauty in the cheapest way. And I just remember this whole trip feeling never fully accepted. We went to dinner this one night with his family and some family friends of theirs, and they had girls that were my age, and these two girls were sitting across from us. Felt like they were making fun of me, and I couldn't tell why or how or what they were even making fun of me for, but I knew that my partner wasn't standing up for me, and it felt really painful. And I felt so small. And then I remember his dad overheard them mentioning his ex, and then his dad started talking about his ex. And I remember feeling so uncomfortable, like, why is this family talking about his ex-girlfriend while his current girlfriend is here? And why isn't he standing up for me? And I left that dinner feeling so small. And I look back at that person and I feel so sad for her that she had to go through that and not feel whole enough and empowered enough and old enough and strong enough to walk away or to stand up for herself. And looking back, telling this story, I'm like, all of these things are signs. The feeling I got in my stomach that this person wasn't right for me, this person wasn't good, this person didn't deserve me. But I was so all consumed with my first love, I just thought we were going to be together forever. So I ended up getting back home after this trip and not being able to reach him for a week straight. And we spoke like 5 times a day or more, just constantly throughout the day. And I was so worried that something happened to him. So I finally called his dad, who I wasn't comfortable with, and I said, "Where is he?" I said, "Is he okay?" And his dad said, "Yeah, of course, he's fine. I'm sure you've talked to him." And I said, "No, that's why I'm calling. I haven't." And he said, "Well, that makes no sense. I know he loves you so much, and there's no reason why you guys haven't spoken." And it just was a strange phone call. And I ended up getting a call maybe a few hours later from a weird number that I had never seen before. And it was him in London. And he called me with the girl to tell me that he was with her and that he cheated on me, as if they did it together. And I had never thought, I had it in my head that, oh, I'm not the type of girl that gets cheated on. So this just shook me to my core. This like rocked me. I felt like a train hit me from behind. And I remember saying, and that sounds so young now, my response was to say, well, that means you're not my boyfriend anymore. Because I thought he would be my boyfriend forever. Because even saying you're not my boyfriend anymore felt like the saddest thing in the whole world. So that's what I decided to say. Of course, now I look back and I think of all the different fights or things that were said or value systems that I had witnessed, and it makes perfect sense. But when you're that age and when you've never felt love before, when you've never been in love before, no matter what, it feels like it's supposed to be happening, like it's supposed to be right.
Can you describe the woman to me?
The woman was everything you would imagine would be attractive to somebody with a value system like that. She was actually quite known in certain circles of London. I would call her somewhat of a D-list celebrity. He wanted to be an actor, and his dad, I forgot when I found this out, but his dad encouraged him to be with this girl, to cheat on me, because he told him he thinks it would help his career. And now I'm a famous singer.
That's right.
So the next year was about to start, and I had thought the worst was over from this situation, but it literally was about to get so much worse. He moved directly across the street from me. He joined all of my classes. He started following me around campus. When I was walking back to my apartment, he would sit outside the window of his apartment and whistle at me in this really creepy way, like he was fucking with me. Like he was like making fun of me. But then he would wear my sweatshirt that I left at his house. He was trying so hard to get my attention, and then whenever he got it, he wouldn't say anything. Then I started getting letters from the girl that he cheated on me with, Every single little thing they had ever done together sexually, anything he had ever said about me, the fact that he said I wasn't sexually experienced enough for him, considering I lost my virginity to him, everything that she felt about him, that he needed, that I didn't have. I remember my roommate at the time saw this email and in a joking way said, "I think she wants you to kill yourself." And I started laughing and I was like, she does. Like, I think she does. It's fucking crazy, but I didn't understand. Like, at that point, I'm like, I'm not with him anymore. He cheated on me. You made him call me and tell me it when you were with him. And now you're emailing me all of these things. We're not together anymore. Like, in your head, if it's important for you to win, you won. So leave me alone. And I didn't understand why she wanted to hurt me. Then apparently she moved to LA to be with him while he was still harassing me, following me around. I think I wanted him to apologize or just tell me, say something. If you're following me around, tell me you're sorry, tell me you regret it, tell me you miss me, tell you want to get back with me, tell me why you did it. But that never happened. He just kept following me around and joining my classes and writing me little subliminal messages when he read anything out loud. Then one day I got home from my classes and there were posters of his face all over my apartment complex that this woman had obviously found out where I lived and put his face all over the place. And that's when I decided to move home and leave college, which makes me really sad.
Is there something you wish he said to you? What did you want him to say to you?
I wanted him to say, I fucked up. I'm so sorry that I let the best thing that ever happened to me go. I regret it. And I'll do anything in the world to make you forgive me. But I knew that I would never let myself be with a cheater. And it's funny because I think when you're young, things are so simple and they feel black and white. And you don't want them to be black and white. But with this situation, I desperately wanted it to have some gray in it rather than black and white. I wanted to be able to be with him, but I knew that it was a black and white thing. When someone treats you like that, you can't be with them. But I wanted there to be something in there that would allow me to be with him because I just wanted to and I loved him so much. And then I remember I went out one night, still living at home at the time, but back at college with some friends, and I was talking to somebody at a bar. I was talking to a guy and he was there and he started throwing limes at us across the room, me and this guy that I was talking to. And I finally went up to him and I said, "What the fuck do you want from me?" And he didn't say anything, and so I left. And I was walking back to my apartment, and he followed me and he was screaming at me to stop. And on the stairs of my apartment, I finally turned around and I said, "What? Like, what the fuck do you want from me?" And he said he just wants to talk. And I said, "Fine, talk. Why did you do it? Why would you do that? Why would you ruin everything we had?" And he said, "Because everyone else wanted her." And I have never felt so fucking angry. That's why you fucked everything up. That's why you ruined me. That's why you betrayed me. That's the only time I've ever punched a man. I punched him, and I wish I did it harder.
So, what would you say to all the young girls out there who have just started dating, who are 17, 18, maybe listening to this? What advice could you give them to better protect themselves?
Oh man, when you're young, you could take all the advice in the world and you're not going to listen. You're just going to follow your heart. But I'm okay. I'm more than okay. I'm fucking amazing. Truly. I love my life. And I love the woman that I am. And I love creating, and I love how powerful I am. I love that I could create music that touches people. And I love that I know what I want, and I know who I want, and I know who I want to be. And I think that that's the point, is that no matter how horrible your first experiences are with love, there's always something more after. Even if you think it's going to crush you, the grief and the pain and the betrayal, it won't.
Banks, how did it feel to tell that story just now?
It felt really good. It felt freeing. It felt, I want to have a full life of a lot of different colors. And that, although that color is a shade darker than is pleasant to experience, like it felt really nice. And it also feels just like, oh my God, like, thank God that's over.
Yeah. I think you survived an immense first heartbreak.
Yeah. After that heartbreak, my next breakup, I was like, this is a breakup. This is nothing.
I think the universe dragged you through the dirt on purpose because you were supposed to make the art you did. And that art changed so many people's lives.
Yeah, that makes me so happy though. I was thinking when I was telling that story about like some of my fans who are like, who the fuck are these songs about? These emotions, like the heaviness. I think it gives a lot of insight into like, I don't know, some of the layers of where my music comes from, you know?
So right now you're sitting in a world and we've created this world for you because you told me the painting in a museum that best describes you is this one.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Guillermo Lorca. I DM'd him on Instagram and I was like, hey, we're doing this thing and we were wondering if we could essentially recreate your painting.
Yeah.
And he was like, of course, of course. So this painting that we've recreated is called La Calma Inglesa, which is the English bed. How do you feel in it?
Oh, I feel light. I feel feminine. I feel brave because there's a leopard behind me protecting me. But I also feel brave because it could also kill me at the same time. I feel excited because this painting has inspired me so much. I love this artist and I love this painting and I love being inspired by people, and there's so much talent in this world, and so it's really fun to be able to collaborate with others such as yourself.
Yeah, this is really fun. I'm having so much
Yeah.
fun building this world. And,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like in this process, I've really gotten to know you. We've done a bunch of calls, but,
Yeah.
you know, we only met this week officially. I actually just want to use this time to reflect on the story you just told. And I want to share a little sentiment that came up for me.
Okay.
You and I are both deeply empathetic and we have really big hearts, and I know that in you already. It's what makes us the artists we are. We're able to feel our pain so intensely and turn it into something beautiful. I read something recently that really stayed with me. It said that empaths go through two major shifts in life. First, we give unconsciously, blindly, and eagerly, driven by love and the need to connect. That kind of open-heartedness can make us vulnerable to manipulation and emotional abuse. We start to believe that self-sacrifice is love, but eventually something breaks inside of us. A betrayal so deep that it forces us to stop abandoning ourselves. That's when the shift happens. We start protecting our boundaries. We learn to love without losing ourselves. Can you take me to that moment in your life when you crossed that threshold? When you stopped betraying yourself and you started choosing you?
I'm not sure there was one moment that I just started choosing myself. I think it's a constant journey and a constant evolution of learning how to choose yourself in different situations, with different tendencies, with different pressures, with different people, with different dynamics. And I know that I'm so proud of how far I've come, and I know that I choose myself so much more freely and easily than I used to. I mean, nobody's lived before unless we have, and we don't know yet, or we haven't, other than those like little kids who like know, like, mama, I fell off a roof there, and then the mom's like, what the fuck? And then they find out that actually that person did fall off a roof at that house or something. Like, maybe those kids know that they've lived before. But for those of us, for the rest of us, for the most of us who feel like it's our first time on this planet, it takes a few different situations, many different situations, maybe constant situations, to just keep teaching yourself how to be happy, how to function, how to choose yourself, how to surround yourself by good people, what love is and what love is not.
Do you feel like you're an intuitive person?
Yeah, very much so. I feel like I'm an octopus with like way extra tentacles. That feels so much. But yeah, I do. I feel like I'm very intuitive. And that's why when things surprise you, it feels like, I said, a train hitting you from behind, because it's just like catches you so off guard, because you feel like you know somebody and you feel like you're so... Intuition can feel like you're a mind reader sometimes, even though you're not, you know?
Have you ever denied your intuition even though it was screaming at you?
Yeah, I definitely have. It's hard because, I mean, there have been certain people that I've been around, been friends with, certain situations that tell me that I'm not in the right place, that tell me somebody doesn't have good intentions. And I mean, one of them was the story I told today, like being in Spain with this family that made me feel so uncomfortable, being at that dinner, sitting there feeling so disrespected and being made to feel so small and stupid. Like, anytime you feel small, it's the wrong place for you. And that's your intuition screaming at you to get out of that situation, you know? That's why I write music, because I can get it out there.
What kind of work and healing have you done that helps you trust yourself more and trust your intuition more?
I think music for me has been such a gift and such a blessing, because it's somewhere that I trust myself so wholeheartedly, and it's such a beautiful feeling to feel like so sturdy and so solid, like however hard the wind is blowing, you can feel really sturdy in your decision. You trust yourself in your decision making. And that's how I feel with music, with melodies, with lyrics. I've gone to therapy, which has helped me a lot. I've learned TRE, which is like traumatic release exercise. I think that's what it stands for. And it's when you let yourself relax so, like that.
Wow.
Deeply, that your body starts like releasing trauma, and it looks like you're having a seizure, but it feels so good. I could do it right now. It might freak you out though.
No, I want to see it. Let's do it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Once I did it in front of my dad, and he didn't believe me. Okay.
Okay. Is that it?
It's like that, but I can keep going, and
Yeah.
it's like different, like...
Do it. Give me 30 seconds of it. Do you make sounds with your voice?
Sometimes some exhales.
Okay.
It looks like you're twitching.
Very cool. I kind of love it.
It feels good, and every time I've ever like been about to have a panic attack, I do that.
Wow.
And it goes away completely after learning how to do it. It feels so good. And it really helps me eliminate anxiety and stress. I think that a doctor discovered it after like soldiers came back and had really bad PTSD, and taught them how to shake. And it made them feel good.
Good.
Yeah.
What about love feels sacred to you now that didn't before? I know you're engaged. Do people know that?
I think some people know that. Maybe some people don't know that, but yeah, I am engaged.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel now love to me is different than it was, I think. I think before love was maybe lust. Maybe it was that like manic feeling in your belly that is like almost similar to anxiety, if that makes sense. Where you get butterflies and when you're nervous and obsessive and I don't know, what's the word? Like you jump off a cliff, it's so exciting. But now for me, love is safe and love is kind and honest. And love is something that you can feel so light, like you can float. You don't need to jump off a cliff. You're just floating where you are.
It's equanimity.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really beautiful. If you could go back and speak to the version of yourself who was still trapped in that cycle of abuse, what truth does she need to hear?
If I could go back, it sounds so cliche, but it feels like it stems from the belief that you are enough, even though it's maybe sounds so obvious. But I think that when you're with people, when you surround yourself with people who don't make you feel good or who are toxic or who are like vampires, maybe in some way like it makes you feel good to try and save somebody or to help somebody or to let them drink your blood. It's so hard because those questions to me, I know that like nobody could tell me anything. I had to live through it, you know? So there's nothing you could really say that would help somebody.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even want to because you don't know until you know.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like life is, you just don't know until you know. That's why I hate when people judge other people because they haven't been through the same things. They don't know what it would be like.
You can only tell someone so much. You can only give them so much advice.
Yeah.
But they're going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They're going to follow their heart.
Yeah.
And anything that happens is happening for them. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to come to like all of those conclusions on your own. It's like how people say like everything is perception or everything is contextual. Like some people experience joy by what we would consider such a small thing. And some people need so much to feel joy because of like whatever they've had in their life. Like everybody has to just like learn on their own and see what lessons or see what they need to be happy and to function. I would say take these experiences and learn from them and don't hate yourself for it. Maybe that, because it's easy to like go through life and feel shame about making mistakes, but I think shame is the devil.
Yeah, it is. It traps us. It binds us to a belief that's not really ours.
Yeah.
It tells us that something is wrong with us.
Yeah, and it keeps you from growing too. Like if you feel so much shame about something, you're just constantly shaming yourself rather than being like, okay, I did that. I learned and I don't like that. So moving forward, I won't, rather than just being stuck in the shame cycle.
Thanks. I want you to use this space to unlock your weirdness and to get a little freaky. Can you do that?
Yeah. And they can call me Lulu. I only wanna be with you. And now we're gonna see it through. Can't wait for you to see it too. My therapist just quit me. She said that she was sick and tired of saying the same thing every week. Fuck that bitch though, she don't get me. I told her he sent from above. I told her he was my true love. He just don't know it yet.